Thank you. Because of you, I could awaken as a sage. I am Saria, the sage of the Forest Temple. I always believed that you would come, because I know you. No, you don't have to explain it to me, because it is destiny that you and I can't live in the same world. I will stay here as the Forest Sage and help you. Now please, take this medallion.
Alright, coin number 2 for the cool coin collection, guys. How exciting. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Forest Medallion right here. You received the Forest Medallion. Saria awakens as a sage and adds her power to yours.
I will always be your friend.
Oh my goodness, Nopon jump scare. Nah, that ain't no Nopon. Sure looks like one though. Hi there, I'm the Deku Tree Sprout. Because you and Saria broke the curse on the Forest Temple, I can grow and flourish. Thanks a lot. Well? Hey, have you seen your old friends? None of them recognize you with your grown-up body, did they? That's because the Kokiri never grow up. Even after 7 years, they're still kids. You must be wondering why only you have grown up. Well, as you might have already guessed, you are not a Kokiri. You are actually a Hylian. I'm happy to finally reveal this secret to you. Well, that's world-shattering, and you say it with a smile on your face and a leaf sticking out of your mouth? Like a cigar or something? Some time ago, before the King of Hyrule unified this country,
There was a fierce war in our world.
one day, to escape from the fires of war, Hylian mother and her baby boy entered this forbidden forest. The mother was gravely injured. Her only choice was to entrust the child to the Deku Tree, the guardian spirit of the forest. The Deku Tree could sense that this was a child of destiny whose fate would affect the entire world. He took him into the forest. After the mother passed away, the baby was raised as a Kokiri, and now, finally, the day of destiny has come. You are a Hylian, and were always bound to leave this forest. Now you have learned your own destiny, and know what you must do. That's right, you must save the land of Hyrule. Now, Link, break the curses in all the temples and return peace to Hyrule. It was a surprise to learn that Saria is one of the sages, wasn't it, Link? I wonder how Sheik knew. Anyway, off to the Temple of Time! Well, isn't that just the most earth-shattering news you've heard all day? How's it going, everyone? It's Tyagara back with another episode of Oot 3D 3-Heart Run. In the last episode, we beat the Forest Temple by slaying the Phantom of King Ganondorf. And this time, we're gonna be headed straight to the Temple of Light, just to meet up with Sheik real quick, but then afterwards, we're gonna get started making our way towards the next dungeon. Here we are back in Kokiri Forest. As you can see, all the monsters are gone for good. Even those Deku Babas that gave us trouble as kids, they're all gone now too, because the curse on the forest is completely broken thanks to the Forest Temple being liberated by us and the Sage of Forest, of course. Now, without further ado, I'm gonna show off horseback riding on Epona. Also, now that we've got the bow and arrow, you can perform horseback archery in this game, which is really cool. Now, normally, you know, I cut when we go to areas we've already visited, but since it's Hyrule Field as an adult, it's a little different. So as you can see, the bow and arrow is mapped to the B button, and we can... The archery isn't the most reliable, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna crash into this tree right here. Because the thing is, it fires from where you were rather than, like, you know, where you're going. So since the horse is moving, see how the arrow isn't exactly in line with where I'm shooting? It's more noticeable when you're moving a little faster. It's not too bad, but, you know, when you actually have to perform horseback archery, it can be a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyway, I'm gonna let Epona down here and cross the broken bridge into Hyrule Castle Town. Also, now that we've got the hook shot, there's something we can do that I previously skipped over last time. You're probably wondering, you know, as soon as we came out of the Temple of Time, you probably saw, you know, the messed up looking castle in the background. Well, you want to go take a look at it? We could do that for sure. My goodness. I remember the first time I saw this cutscene as a kid. Link's reaction and just, you know, the desolate scenery and what Ganondorf did to Hyrule Castle had me looking like Link too. Now the funny thing is, if you played Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii, you probably remember like the Masterpieces mode. Well, Ocarina of Time was one of the Masterpiece demos you could play for like 5 minutes, right? And there were 2 save files, one at the start of the game and one around this point where, you know, Link had just awakened as an adult. And I remember, yeah, picking the second save file at some point, going up to Hyrule Castle, and just being absolutely not traumatized. That's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but it really stuck in my mind, and I'll never forget the first time I saw that. Anyway, here we have a gold Skulltula that we previously couldn't reach, but now that we have the hook shot, we can. I want to show that off real quick. Anyway, I will meet you guys back at the Temple of Light now, or just outside it, rather. Back outside the Temple of Time, of course, and here we have those, Gossip Stones from before. Now that we have the Song of Storms, why don't we, you know, give it a little whirl. Because, you know, I'm not topped off on magic. I want to show this off. It's a beautiful place to come and get both your magic and hearts refilled, of course. Sadly, it didn't release all of them at once, but I guess I just wasn't standing in the proper place. Anyway, let's head inside now and see what Sheik has to say to us. Gonna backwalk, of course, and now that we're tall, you know, we're a grown-up adult, we can just backflip over the cool rock collection there and just make our way over to Sheik.
You destroyed the wicked creatures that haunted the temple and awakened the sage. There are still other sages who need your help. In order to awaken all the other sages, you must become even more powerful. You must travel over mountains, underwater, and even through time. If you want to return to your original time, return the Master Sword to the pedestal of time. By doing this, you will travel back in time 7 years. If you want to challenge the mighty foes you've defeated again, make for the bed in your childhood home. In the realm of dreams, you should be able to face them anew. The time will come when you will have to return here quickly. I will teach this to you for when that time comes.
The song to return you to the Temple of Time, the Prelude of Light. I love this song. A-A-Zay. Or A-A-Za. I-I-Za. Whatever. You have learned the Prelude of Light. As long as you hold the Ocarina of Time and the Master Sword, hold time itself in your hands. Link, we shall meet again. Alright, using the Deku Nut Flash Grenade to leave us hanging once again. So as Sheik said, we can now return to the childhood timeline by placing the Master Sword in the Pedestal of Time. And we will be needing to do that just a little later on. First things first, I want to head on over to Zora's Domain for the next temple. I will see you guys just outside of Zora's River. How's that sound? Sound good? Cool. So here we are at the foot of Zora's River, of course, and there are a couple things I want to touch on, right? So, first things first, you're probably wondering, you know, if you played this game, probably thinking, hey, Tayagara, this isn't the way to the second temple, what are you doing? Well, truth be told, dear viewer, you can beat the second and third temples in whichever order you like. Now, I learned that by mistake the very first time I played this game, because, you know, when I was a boy, I saw the 3 icons lit up on the touchscreen down there, you know, letting you know, hey, you can go to the forest, you can go to Death Mountain, or you can go to Zora's Domain. I didn't know that there was an intended order, though, so I went to Zora's Domain next because it was closer to Kokiri Forest than Death Mountain was. And then I beat the second temple. Well, what I thought was the second temple, but it was actually the third one, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, on my every subsequent playthrough since then, I've always gone to the Fire Temple second and then the Water Temple. But of course, you know, I like to do things my own way, and just for old time's sake, and also to stand out a little more from the other OOT LPs on YouTube, I will be doing the Water Temple second. But of course, playing the Sun Song to make a gold Skulltula appear. There are 2 in this area we need to collect. We could not get these as a child because, you know, a lot of the ones that appear at night as adults simply don't spawn in as children, and vice versa, actually. But we wouldn't know that since, you know, we got all the child ones we could. Minus, you know, there's one in Dodongo's Cavern, but I'm saving that for when we go back to Death Mountain in a bit. What you want to do next is make your way on over to this bridge, and this fence, rather. Hop on top of it. Hold, oh, well, that works too. Because you need the additional bit of height there to reach this gold Skulltula with your hookshot, since it's too short to reach it from the grass there. But anyway, let's move forward. Heading on over this convoluted path. Of course, we can just cheese it by running across here. Make our way on over to that Triforce plaque once again, and let's play Zelda's Lullaby and see if the Zoras are home, you know? We saw Kokiri Forest got messed up pretty badly. We, of course, have no reason to doubt that the same thing happened to Zora's Domain. Hopefully not as badly, though. I mean, you know, it's a giant oasis inside of a mountain. Very serene, very regal. Be ashamed to see it being desecrated, you know? I hope nothing super terrible happened to it. It's a giant ice rink. Okay. That sucks. And no, if, in case you're wondering, you cannot go up to the waterfall there and play Din's Fire, or you cannot go up to the waterfall there and use Din's Fire to melt it all. I wish, you know, I tried it as a kid. It did not work. What you want to do is head up the staircase here. Backwalking, of course, or backdashing, of course, is faster. And King Zora is coated in a thick sheet of red ice. We're gonna need a certain substance to melt that ice, but we'll deal with that later. For now, I just want to head through this little tunnel here, the very edge of the waterfall. Careful, because ice physics are annoying, and if you fall, you're gonna take some mad fall damage. What you want to do is aim your hookshot, of course, at this gold Skulltula and pick it up real quick. Anyway, I'll meet you guys back at the frozen King Zora. As I was saying, there's a certain substance we're gonna need to melt that ice, and it can be found in a mini dungeon near where we went to Jabu Jabu's belly. So let's head on over to Zora's Fountain and make our way to said mini dungeon and hopefully be able to rescue King Zora, because I don't know, guys, this section outside of that cavern, that temple, that dungeon, this section outside of that ice dungeon, really annoying. It's another platforming section in a game without a jump button. And it's on spinning glaciers, which may or may not be the remnants of Jabu Jabu's body. So, word of advice, take it slow, take it carefully. You don't want to rush this. There are Octoroks all around you, and also, if you fall in the water, you're gonna have to start the entire section all over because you cannot grab the spinning glaciers in the water. They're too slippery and they're moving. Now, of course, remember that thing I said in the Deku Tree about using the jump slash to gain an additional bit of height? That really comes in handy here, you know, or an additional bit of forward momentum, I should say. Not there, but like that glacier before, if you're just barely able to reach it, it can give you that last bit of push you need to make it. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ice Cavern. This is a mini dungeon, which may or may not be the remnants of an ice temple that was cut from the game during development. As you can see, icicles fall from the ceiling. You can either just stand out of the way of them, or use your Hylian shield to block. Here we have a new enemy type. These are Freezards. One thing I love about them is you can just use Din's Fire to take them out instantly. Otherwise, they take a couple sword slashes to take down. But who needs that when you just use your fire to melt them? As you can see, there are more chunks of red ice, just like the ones trapping King Zora. So we can melt them all if we really want to, but we're not going to be doing that because that would be such a waste of time. We're just gonna keep moving forward. Alright, got a big spinning decapitator here in the middle of the room, and the objective, of course, is to collect silver rupees, which are worth 5. That's how you open the way forward, and of course we got the cursed pots just spinning at you. You can use your shield to crouch under it, and, you know, using the ice physics, you can move forward while sliding. It's very nice. And here we have another gold Skulltula. As you can see, there's more red ice everywhere. We are going to be melting these ones, though, of course, because they block the way forward. Well, not the way forward, but rather the way to the end of the dungeon. You can see there are 3 possible paths we can take from here. But what we want to do is climb on up to that ledge there, jump down and grab that last silver rupee. Doing so is going to put us directly in the line of the spinning blades there, so let's hopefully not get hit by those. Cutscenes triggering. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Slide under it once again. Very nice. Make our way on up there. The path forward has opened. We've got... Do we have any empty bottles on us? We got 2. Perfect. Alright, so I'm gonna take these ones here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna drink the Pose Soul real quick, just so I have 3 empty bottles. And you'll see what happens. I believe it has random effects. I'll list them all on screen here. Nothing happened here, but yes, it can recover health. I believe it can also drain health, and I'm not sure if it actually has an effect on your magic meter or not. Oh, we got another Freezard here. If you take too long to kill them, they'll blast ice air at you that will freeze you in place in a little icicle. So try to avoid that. In this room here, we've got a few more of them. We've also got some icy keys. What I'm gonna do quickly, actually, is hopefully not get hit by that real quick. I'm gonna pull out my Din's Fire and just wreak havoc on these guys because I can and I want to, and I can and I will. Oh, never mind. I walked right into his line of fire there, and the Ice Keese was lying in wait for me, and as you can see, you take passive damage there inside of the icicle, so you want to try and get out as fast as possible by mashing your buttons, of course. There's another Freezard down. We're just using a lot of magic on these guys. But yes, your objective is to make your way across these little icicles here. Oh, the Keese is coming for me, isn't he? Wanna... Where is he? There he is. Bounce off my shield, and then slash him, of course. And here we have blue fire. Doesn't seem natural. Maybe you can use it for something. How could you carry it? Simple. Walk up to it, pull out your empty bottle, and just mix them up inside of your bottle, of course. You put a blue fire into the bottle. This is a cool flame. You can use it with face buttons. Now, here's the thing about blue fire in real life. The flames are supposedly much hotter than, you know, red or orange flames. So Link's probably burning his hand beyond repair every time he throws it in there to collect it with the empty bottle. Also, yes, you get iframes during the Din's Fire activation, as you can see there. And also, unfortunately, the Freezard only got hit by the tail end of it. Oh, you can also use your hookshot to latch onto them, which will pull you forward and also take them out, which is really nice. But as you can see, if we make our way on up to this chest here, gotta be very careful. The camera's a little finicky. Gonna dump the blue fire on it. And open it up. That's what we're gonna have to do to King Zora, but we're gonna clear out this entire dungeon first. Now, of course, even though it's a mini dungeon, you're still gonna have the staples. We're gonna have the dungeon map, of course. As you can see, it's just one floor, and not too hard to traverse. So yeah. It does not contain, however, a boss key, I don't believe. It's just the compass and the dungeon map. But I want to come back over here and refill my empty bottles. My apologies for the slight cut there. I had a bit of an error with the recording, but don't you worry, I got that all sorted out, and I promise you, dear viewers, you did not miss a thing. Right now, I'm just refilling my empty bottles with blue fire, of course. Next, we're going to make our way back to that circular room, which we came from, because if you look down on the mini-map there is a small room in the southeastern corner that we want to go to, because it contains another source of blue flames, a gold Skulltula, the dungeon compass, and also a piece of heart if you're doing a regular playthrough of the game. What you want to do once you emerge from here, in case you're confused because there's no compass yet, you want to head to the left here. Not press X, you want to press Y, my bad. Thankfully, I didn't get hit by the spinning blade in the middle of the room. Stand in the blue fire and not take any damage at all, which again is really interesting because, you know, blue fire is hotter than red and orange fire. Yet Link, you know, he took damage from regular fire in Dodongo's cavern, yet he's completely immune to blue flames, which seems kind of backwards if you ask me. But of course, here on the right side of the room, we've got some Keese guarding the frozen treasure chest. Gonna try and take him out real quick. He's flying away from me, but I'm gonna... Oh, he's behind the icicle now. Gonna take him out real quick. Very, very nice. Gonna thaw out that treasure chest. Of course, containing the compass. That's 2 out of 3 of the dungeon staples at this point. Just missing the boss key, which, as I said before, is not a thing in this dungeon. So in a sense, it's more like a Child Link dungeon, because it also doesn't have any small keys either, which is really interesting. But here's the compass, so now you won't get confused in the circular room anymore. Head on over to this side of the room, and you have, of course, your piece of heart, and more importantly, the gold Skulltula hanging right above us here. Let's just take them out real quick, then head on over to the blue flames and replenish our empty bottles, shall we? Then afterwards, I will meet you guys back inside that circular room, whereupon we will head to the northwestern side. See you guys in a sec. Back in the circular room from before, of course, you want to make your way to the other end of the room while avoiding the spinning blades. And you want to empty your bottle of blue fire onto the red ice, of course, once again. Now, guys, just beyond this corridor is another block puzzle, somewhat similar to the one from the Forest Temple, although very, very different. Because unlike the one in the Forest Temple, we are not manually shoving the block across the room. No, we're just gonna let it glide on the ice like this. It's very fun, actually. You know, a block puzzle that's fun? Who would have thought? I know that's blasphemy, Tayagara, you're probably saying to yourself, but it's really not. It's actually a lot of fun. Here, of course, we've got 3 keys and a gold Skulltula. We're gonna take them out using a combination of our sword, shield, and hookshot. And there's also a gold Skulltula that we're gonna grab real quick. Now, of course, the objective of this room is to collect all the silver rupees to advance forward. And you might have seen there's another source of blue fire over there that we can collect, alongside some floating red rupees. Now you're probably wondering, hey Taya, how are we supposed to grab those red rupees? They're way too high up. Well, dear viewer, if you did ask that to your screen, well, for one, you should stop talking to yourself. I'm one to talk, look at me. I'm talking to myself all the time. But 2, I'm glad you asked that, because when we get over there, you'll notice that Navi will glow green. And that's usually an indication that something can be done with an Ocarina song. More specifically, in this instance, it has to do with the Song of Time. Because if you remember in the Forest Temple, we played the Song of Time to make those blocks of time disappear. Here we're gonna do the complete opposite. Also, in case you're wondering why I just shoved it off into the abyss there, that's what you're meant to do because it resets the block's position, which allows you to do the puzzle in different ways. It does not reset the entire puzzle. That can be done by throwing yourself into the abyss, which I do not recommend doing, because that's no fun. I'm just here to collect these silver rupees and make my way on over to that source of blue fire. Replenish these 2 bottles, of course. As you can see there, Navi is glowing green, so we're just gonna play the Song of Time in just a second. First, I want to grab this silver rupee and not fall to my death. Alright, so let's replenish these bottles real quick. 1 and 2. Alright, now without further ado, let's whip out Ye Olde Ocarina and play the Song of Time. God, I love this song. So legendary. There are the blocks, there are the red rupees. Let's grab them and become 60 rupees richer, my friends. That'll put us over the 300 mark, which is something we cannot... Or we can miss one entirely. All right, let me just get up there and grab it again real quick. As I was saying before I fell down there, yes, we are now over the 300 mark of rupees, which is not something we could have done before. That's very nice. I'm very happy about that. The wallet upgrades are coming in handy, as you can see. Now I'm just gonna shove this block over here and then into the abyss again. I will always be your friend. You got that reference? Then yes, we are friends now. Oh man. Yes, we're just gonna shove the block over to the left now to grab the final silver rupee. No, I don't want to get on top of it just yet. Here you go. Then afterwards, we're gonna shove it up 1. Oh, that's a very, very poor choice of words on my part. But yeah, we're just gonna try and hit that icicle up there. I want to be careful with the way I'm moving Link right now because of the ice physics and where I was on that giant icicle. It was very easy to just jump off into the abyss. Like, it'd be very easy to slide off here. You want to be extra careful. Alright, grab onto it. Push it against this one here. Then the one to its right. And then last but not least, on over to the entrance that just opened up for us. Now guys, here we will find the quote-unquote boss of the dungeon. The reason why I say boss is because, you know, it is the final enemy that gives you an item when you defeat it, but it's not like a traditional boss. It's just a variant of an enemy we've already fought. Got a couple more Freezards in the way. Let's take them out with 3 sword slashes. Now let's see, can I take out all of these with 1 blue flame? I'm not typically able to do it, but if I can do it here, then it's the Let's Play Blessing rather than Curse. And would you look at that? Let's Play Blessing coming in clutch. Now here we have a very pretty door leading the way to the prettiest room in the game that is unfortunately tainted by this guy here, the White Wolfos. He's just like a regular Wolfos, although he's dead in 1 hit. Alright then. I'm very happy about that. I was not expecting to kill him in 1 hit there, but he dropped an item, or a treasure chest containing an item. Just look at those glimmering star-like things and the icicles. It's so pretty. You know what's not pretty, though? The iron boots, some of the most infamous items in the game because of how they function in the water temple. Here we have Sheik.
We meet again, Link.
You came here to meet the Zoras. You wasted your time. This is all there is. One exception, the Zoras are now sealed under this thick ice sheet. I managed to rescue the Zora princess from under the ice, but she left to head for the water temple. This ice is created by an evil curse. The monster in the water temple is the source of the curse. Unless you shut off the source, the ice will never melt. That's a metaphor for all problems in life, by the way. If you don't attack the source, it's never gonna go away.
If you have courage enough to confront the danger and save the Zoras, I will teach you the melody that leads to the temple. Time passes. People move. Like a river's flow. It never ends. Childish mind will turn to noble ambition. Young love will become deep affection. The clear water's surface reflects growth. Now listen to the serenade of water to reflect upon yourself. And my childhood engagement, I know. Lyrics. Probably my favorite Ocarina song in the entire game. It's very simple, but very beautiful at the same time. This is one of the most iconic scenes in the game for me personally. I love to have like the picture of it as a phone background sometimes, just how nice it is, you know, Link and Sheik playing Ocarina and harp together in this little ice cavern room. Very pretty. There's official artwork of it, by the way. I'll put it on screen right now so you know what I'm talking about. That's what I usually have as my background. You have learned the Serenade of Water. Link, I'll see you again. So without further ado now, we're gonna equip those infamous iron boots real quick. We're gonna set them to not Y. That is my projectile button, mind you. Let's just put that bow and arrow back. You equip the iron boots. You can see you move very slowly, but it also allows you to drop like a rock in water. What you're meant to do here. But as you can see, you can't breathe underwater, so you need to take off the boots so you don't drown yourself. I'm gonna exit out of the Ice Cavern real quick, and that is where we're gonna end today's episode. So guys, on this episode of Oot 3D 3-Heart Run, we made our way to Zora's Domain, collected a few gold Skulltulas, and learned what became of the Zoras. We also slayed the White Wolfos inside of the Ice Cavern and obtained the Iron Boots. Now we're gonna go thaw out King Zora in the next episode. So then guys, I've been Tyagara, I thank you all so much for watching, and I bid you guys farewell.